Hey, thanks for checking on my first video. So on this video, I'll get right to it. I was part of last year, the largest Kentucky Derby party in Canada. But the cool thing about it is it wasn't in Toronto, it wasn't in Fort Erie, it was in Niagara Falls, St. Catharines area at the Meridian Center, nowhere near a racetrack, and they managed to have over 500 tickets sold. It was the coolest thing ever. The people I met were great people, and I managed to get an interview with Adam Cook, who is the convener of the whole operation. But the one thing I wanted to bring up that didn't come up in the interview was, even though they sold over 500 tickets for this event, they managed to raise, I think it was $36,000, and they split it between 3 charities in Niagara Falls, which was Family and Children's Services Niagara, Community Care, and Niagara Child Center. So to me, that was the best part. If you're going to be part of any sort of event, I love that you can give back and give back to the community, even though you have a great time at a great party. So I'll get to the interview right now, and I'll see you after. So this is the first time I've done anything like this. First time I've interviewed anybody, but it's the first of many, I hope. And my journey with horse racing, I get to do many different things. And the one thing we got to do last week, I wanted to have this interview last week beforehand, but we can do it now, it's fine, is I got to partake in just an epic Kentucky Derby event. Like the coolest thing. I've never been to the Derby, and this was probably the closest, most awesome thing I've ever been to. So this is Adam Cook. I met Adam Cook weeks ago, a couple months ago, and he'll tell the story of how we originally met. Talk about a spectacular person, and the group of people around Adam are unbelievable. I've had the greatest couple months ever just planning this event with these guys. They did most of the planning. We just helped out with champions, with betting and everything. So I'll let you talk about you,
okay?
Because I don't really still know a whole lot about you. So yeah, so to start off, who's Adam Cook? What do you know about horse racing?
Okay.
And how to just kind of bring us up to speed quickly.
Well, Corey, first of all, thanks for having me on the show, on your channel. I've learned a lot from you guys. So who's Adam Cook? I'm just a guy with an event idea and horse racing fan. I have a business here in St. Catharines. My family's been here for many generations. And when we're not doing cool events, I'm just a business owner with a family. So that's about it, really.
What sort of business?
We have a credit collection agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not related to horse racing necessarily,
not
but a lot different. But I also love doing things in the community, doing certain events that are super cool. I've been my whole life arranging and organizing things, whether it be trips for friends and stuff like that. So I just have a passion for organizing events and cool outings and things. So this has evolved into Hats and Horses. What
was your previous experience with horse racing before this?
Purely a fan. My dad, who passed away in August of 2016, was a big horse racing fan in terms of the action and the betting. He loved the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont. He'd go to the track often. In fact, he went to many of the Kentucky Derbies. He was at the Derby when Seattle Slew won.
Oh, wow.
And went on to win the Triple Crown. He's seen many of the legendary races there at Churchill Downs.
You were saying he had a box there, but...
Yeah, that didn't work out so well. He had a friend that passed on a suite to them there for you to use, and they didn't end up keeping it for long, but he had a great time there with his friends, that's for sure. And he would always come home with Kentucky Derby commemorative t-shirts for my brother, sister, and I. And so we have lots of family photos of us as little kids wearing Kentucky Derby t-shirts, and he'd always bring home these cool glasses, the commemorative glasses.
Yeah.
And so our kitchen was filled with Kentucky Derby glassware. And I always thought, wow, my dad's the greatest husband in the world, bringing home new dishes, for the kitchen, for mom, whatever. But there were just as mint julep drinks, I'm sure. He just collected them over the course of the weekend. He loved horse racing. He loved the betting. He loved that action part of it. My mom, on the other hand, grew up with horses. Her family, she had her own horses growing up. So it wasn't really, they weren't race horses. They're more in the hunt club type of stuff. But she loved horses. And my mom and dad just had a great thing with the Derby and the races, and the Triple Crown and the Queen's Plate, and all the horse racing stuff. So we were just people that loved horses. For me, I went to University of Windsor. There's a track there, so had a little bit of experience of going to the track in Windsor. Fort Erie, I haven't been a stranger there. So
you've been around?
Been around a little bit, and then most recently it was at the Preakness in 2017. That was my first big race.
Oh, that'd be good.
Really exciting.
That's a big party.
It was super exciting, and Always Dreaming did not win.
You keep bringing that up.
Yeah.
You keep bringing that up.
I had a ticket with Always Dreaming, but cloud computing upset the apple cart on that Triple Crown bid. But I don't really have a background like you do. I'm not really a jockey, and I haven't been around. Not a jockey, and I haven't been around the stables too much. But certainly just a fan of the sport. I love it. I love watching the horses run, and everything about them. I think they're beautiful animals, and they're just majestic. So
they truly are.
Yeah.
Let's jump on to your dad, which we're leading up to something here of what the event was. Tell us about who your dad was.
Dad was a business owner. In fact, it's the family business that my brother, sister, and I are part of right now, that my dad and my grandfather were in. So it's a third generation family business. My dad loved the business side, but he loved the community side as well. So he spent a lot of his time fundraising, whether it's for healthcare initiatives or charities. He did a lot in the community that way, and really felt that giving back was something that was important to him. So he spent a lot of time not only on the business side of things, but also on the philanthropy. So Hats and Horses, the event, it was a memorial event. It's an event in memory of my dad. When my dad passed away, there were a lot of people talking about doing, having a memorial golf tournament or something like that, and we were looking for the right fit, or nothing. And then the idea came forward based on my dad's love of the Derby and horse racing, and a really unique party atmosphere. Why not a Kentucky Derby party? So the light bulbs went off, and it was...
When did this happen?
This was on Belmont Stakes race day, June 10th. Last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the idea originally was just like, are we going to have a party? We maybe do it at one of the clubs at a winery. And then speaking with Kay Mayer, who's the director of marketing here at Meridian Center, said, why don't you check out, we can do this here really well. And
at the Meridian Center.
At the Meridian Center, 5,500 people for hockey games, 6,500 people for concerts. They've had the Tragically Hip here. Yeah. Elton John was here in November. Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, they've had major events. Yeah. Adam Cook, Hats and Horses. Okay, I'll see it. I'm here, we're here a lot for Ice Dogs games, so you see it from an arena setup. But to envision that Derby event on the floor, the Jumbotron lowered to 12 feet off the ground, all the decor element that we brought to this, those ideas early on were hard to see, because what you see is a huge building with a big tall ceiling and a lot of space to fill.
It was amazing what they did, actually.
Yeah, I'm super proud of the committee for what was put together. But so those ideas all started back 10 months ago, and can we pull that off here? And when we started talking about it, I got super excited, because I wanted this to be an event. I did not want it to be like a private function or a small party. Mm-hmm. That although my dad liked a unique party, my dad was more about the big event, so it really fit.
Oh, he's close to my heart then.
Yeah.
That's what
he certainly liked that, but I also wanted to build an event that anybody could attend, whether you even knew who my dad was. This was in memory of Jan R. Cook and his spirit, but a lot of people who didn't even know who my dad was were in attendance here enjoying it, and we wanted to build the event that way, that whether you're male or female, young or old, you could come to this event. There was something for everybody. Everybody can get behind it, get behind the fashion, get behind the flair of the Derby itself, enjoy the horse racing, our partnership with you guys, the champions, and being able to place wagers here on site and get paid out was super cool. So we really feel like we touched on a lot of different points that it would appeal to a broad spectrum of people in St. Catharines and Niagara.
That's amazing. What would you... The event was amazing. I was running around the whole time busy, but I was able to take in some of it at moments. I have some footage. I'm going to get some footage of you guys for this to show everybody how amazing it was. how many people were dressed up. Like there was over 450, if not 500 people there.
Yeah.
How many people do you think were actually even new to horse racing?
Well, so we did our reconciliation on our ticket sales. We had 507 tickets sold.
That's amazing.
To the event this year, which is remarkable. I would say that I'm going to say 85 to 90% of the people that were in the crowd on Saturday have never been exposed to horse racing, never been exposed to an event like this, and really never even walked up and placed a wager on that.
I'll tell you, actually it felt that way now that I think about it. The whole day I was helping people. So what's a show wager? What's an exacta? Yeah. Right? Like it went on. So there were a lot of brand new people there. That's amazing.
And a lot of people hooked now.
A lot of people hooked. Yeah, Dwight, poor Dwight. We had a guy bet $25. So we only showed 3 races.
Right.
The 10th, 11th, and 12th race. And on the 10th race, he came up and he bet $25 to win on whoever it was, Funny Duck or something Duck, and he won $1,000. It was his very first bet on horse racing. It was
hooked for life.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is that exposing them to the races themselves. I mean, we didn't saturate the event with constant horse racing. We didn't fill it in with previous videos of old races. So I think the content was really good. People got a flavor for how exciting horse racing is.
Yeah.
Another sport I love is boxing, right? So boxing and horse racing, what I always say with the beauty of those sports is there's no explanation required. Everyone can understand. Even if you're a novice to the sport, you still understand horses line up in the gate,
and
the gate's open, and one's got to it's a race around the track.
What were people's reaction to the event? Like I saw a lot of people having a great time.
Yeah,
right?
everybody was having a great time.
You talked to people like in person afterwards. What was?
Yeah, I had such positive feedback. Whether it's people sending me text messages, email, our social media channels, all the things that were shared on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, the reaction was phenomenal. Like people
at Hats and Horses.
At Hats and Horses, yeah. People loved the event.
Yeah.
The thing that impressed me the most, I was walking around doing my thing, and everyone I saw had a smile on their face. Everyone was enjoying it. It was just like a perfect time of day for an event like this, 3:30 to 7:30. Everyone was in great spirits. They had fun. We had the fashion show, as you know. So there were a lot of people that really got in that. All of our categories were full for the fashion show. And that was exciting to see because this is a first-time event. We didn't know. We could have been a flop.
Yeah.
But people loved the fashion show. They came dressed, ready to go. And it's just, I haven't heard one negative thing. Everyone loved it. You asked that, what was the reaction? We had 507 tickets sold this year, this past event. And we're thinking for 2019, Hats and Horses we're targeting 750 tickets.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And that'll be even better. Actually, the mint juleps were popular.
The mint juleps were very popular. We had great partnership with Woodford Reserve. They came and set up a beautiful bar area for our mint julep station, and we went through a lot of mint juleps.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think we surprised the people at Woodford even.
You guys had cool commemorative glasses too.
We did. We should have
steel or stainless steel glasses.
The stainless steel. Yeah. They were.
I'll get a picture of that. I'll throw that up there. Yeah.
Nicely branded mint julep cups, and it was really a nice touch. To see the people with those cups and wanting to take them home. So I know there'll be a lot of pools this summer that'll have those around them. It's neat. That's
awesome. So your future vision, like I know we all got to have our little meetings afterwards of what, but what are you thinking for next year? Like, well, we kind of talked about it, 750 people.
Look, at 750 people, that's where I want to set the goal for our committee. We have a great, hardworking volunteer committee on this event, so everyone has their own notes and everyone has their own areas of expertise. But I think we'll just step up the decor again. I think that's one element. Like we really now we can see an event year under our belt. We can see where we want to improve things from a decor standpoint. But overall, you know what? I think we hit it out of the park in terms of nailing those elements that we really wanted to do.
From my point of view, it was for a first event. And you guys, have you ever been to a Kentucky Derby party?
No, household ones, but
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
nothing
So
like
you had
this.
some
Yeah.
experience of a Kentucky Derby party, but of that size,
Nothing like
500
this.
people. It was.
Yeah.
Everybody was blown away. I had people in my horse racing world seeing some of the pictures saying, "Who are these people?"
Yeah.
Because the decor. I snuck some pictures to my friends ahead of
Nice.
time. I'm like, "Check this out," and they were like, "Wow."
Yeah. Well, we love what we're able to do here, and this is one of the things with this building that was so special. We were able to take that big screen, which is the scoreboard here for the hockey and basketball, and lower that down, like I said, 12 feet off the ground. So that was like our jumbotron, and we had all the decor coming off of that. I'm sure you'll share some pictures, but really, essentially, what we did is took a really large building with a high ceiling, lowered that ceiling down, lowered the
It was
field.
kind of cool how you did that. It was
Some decor tricks.
Yeah. I was thinking about it on the way
Yeah.
here. Actually, I was just like the streamers and everything. It kind of closes it in, so you don't. It was really creative.
Yeah,
what
it
you
created a
guys
fun
did.
atmosphere too.
Yeah.
So now we have that big curtain in the background that you see. So this year we had some uplighting that went on there. We've already talked about it previous to this event. We want to use that space, that curtain space, to illuminate our logo on there. Just do some little tweaks here and there. Been doing other events, and one of the important things that I've learned and I share with this committee is that we have a vision for what we want this event to grow and what we want it to be like for years to come, and we don't want to put everything out in the first year, because next year when people arrive, they want to see how do we change, how do we evolve, what did we do a little bit differently, and make it special every year for people that attend. We don't want it to be the same old.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I think we're good, man.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. That was great. That worked out really well.
How's my first job as an interviewer?
You did really well.
So how cool was that? There's such a huge event. Everybody was dressed up. What a party it was. You definitely want to be a part of it this year. That's why I'm posting this video. I wanted to give them lots of exposure. I think it's great what they're doing, how much money they give the community. If we have more people this year, there's going to be more money donated to people out there. So if you're in the Niagara area, surrounding area, it'll be definitely worth your while. So I'll put a link below for tickets. I'll attach it to this video in which way. It'll be hatsandhorses.com. It'll be Hats and Horses on Facebook, Hats and Horses on Twitter, Hats and Horses on Instagram as well. You can see all the pictures that they took. I threw a bunch in here. I hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you there.